Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, could please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. Now, with that being said, Barbarians, let's talk about Hedera. So first off, the price of Hbar is actually up about 6.57%, 14.42% on the 7-day span, which is pretty good. I mean, overall trading volume is up about 74%. Am I going to get excited? Absolutely not. You guys already know my levels that I'm, really kind of looking for in terms of, Hedera. I do think that a breakout along the board for altcoins is, destined to happen. I just talked about this in my earlier video from today. But when we are talking about, Hedera, there's a lot of things happening right now within the ecosystem. And I'm going to be talking about that and addressing it. Now, I know for the most part, right, everyone's just sitting here on the sidelines, really kind of addressing the idea that, price action sucks. But, I'm going to be talking about fundamentals. And this, I would say that this video should really kind of change your viewpoints on what Hedera is really kind of trying to do and achieve and what they have been doing behind the scenes. I really do believe that Hedera has been making massive moves, in silence for a very long time, and I do think that this solidifies that. Now let's talk about this and let's address it. So first off, DeFi. So I've been telling you guys about DeFi on Hedera for a very long time. I think that this is very exciting. I've been, really kind of addressing this and talking to you guys about it, in terms of the DeFi space really kind of exploding and blowing up. I think that this is going to continue to grow and grow and grow as time goes on, but we do see DeFi is going to blow up on Hedera so quickly. There is so much coming. Hedera Network, staking, IDO, Launchpad, Headstarter.org, decentralized exchanges, Sausage Swap Labs, and Hbar Suit, yield farming and liquid staking through Stater as well. Like, a lot of this definitely is just the beginning. I will, mention that fully. But when we are talking about the DeFi space in general, I think that this space is going to grow astronomically as time goes on, mainly because this has been always the focus point of some high-tier institutional investors and even massive banks. So, pay attention to DeFi, especially those low cap gems that haven't really jumped out in terms of this market. I haven't really been talking about a lot of these, but there is a lot of them that are very, very undervalued within this area, and just a few API 3 and stuff, a lot of them have a ton of upside potential. So pay attention to DeFi very, very closely. Now also in terms of DeFi, we do see Hashpack Wallet even mentioned this as well. Now excuse me, now next future, as we approach the end of Q1, let's take a look at our updated roadmap. Here's some of the main features planned for 2022. Are you excited for DeFi on Hedera? We are, and we do see, again, this is the current now. I don't know why it's taking forever to load, but here we have now. The next one is Hash Connect public beta release. It's in progress, but next is cross-chain bridges. I think that this is going to be very key for the success of any network. We see staking, in-wallet staking, very exciting. Local backups as well. And then, of course, the future is token swap, light/dark mode, and then, of course, desktop and mobile apps. So I'm very excited for the future of Hashpack Wallet, as well as a lot of these other, projects being built on Hedera. I think that when we are talking about DeFi, it definitely is a very massive area to really kind of focus on and pay attention to. Like I said, a lot of these, top tier assets, you guys do see, even in terms of the top 25, a lot of these assets did massive runs. I mean, look at the, market cap of some of these. So pay attention to DeFi. And of course, this is the biggest key to the puzzle. This is what I'm talking about. Pay attention to what Hedera is doing behind the scenes in silence without any hype behind it. One advantage of Hashgraph, Nigel D. Dobson. All right, this is an individual that is really kind of within the banking scene over in Australia and stuff like that. This is talking more so about, DLTs, crypto, and digital value in the banking and payment sector. Note it was its low cost and low carbon infrastructure. His comments suggest the network may be the platform of choice for ANZ_Australia for any future DeFi or stablecoin plans. Pretty interesting, right? When we are talking about something like this, if you connect the dots, this is actually a very interesting area to really focus on. Now, I actually have the article open here, and it does say the Big Four, bank has already minted tokens on the Hedera Hashgraph testnet, right? pretty interesting. We're going to kind of connect the dots here. The bridge between centralized finance and decentralized finance is shorter than we thought. While crypto is often presented as an alternative to traditional finance, larger banks have actively been exploring the technology. Now, with this in mind, right, I love the fact that they are mentioning like Hedera's low carbon imprint. I also like the idea that they are mentioning the idea that it is capable of running Solidity smart contracts and things like that. So this is definitely going to help streamline the DeFi space. But there's a lot of major banks that are really kind of included in crypto adoption and really kind of moving in on crypto. We've been watching this unfold, but we do see Dobson made the comment on the first day of Australian Blockchain Week, which focused on the arrival of major institutions in the blockchain and cryptocurrency industry. Panels featured representatives from retail banks such as the ANZ, NAB, and Commonwealth Bank, alongside investment banks JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, while KPMG and EY also spoke about their blockchain ambitions. So now let's connect the dots. Okay, so first off, this was, around March 22nd. Here we have March 24th. Australia gets stablecoins. Big Four, bank ANZ has become the first Australian bank to mint an Australian dollar peg stablecoin named $DC. Now, with this in mind, we do see, according to the Thursday report from the Australian Financial Review, the stablecoin will initially be rolled out for institutional clients seeking a cost-effective on-ramp for crypto investments. It is also likely to open up the retail trading market in the near future. Now, shout out to Zepsi because he did do a little bit of a breakdown on this, but Australian bank ANZ_Australia is top 3 by assets under management at Blockchain Australia. They announced they have already minted on the Hedera testnet and have bold plans for DeFi, CeFi/traditional finance in moving in, folks, and it's chosen its DOT fueled by Hbar. This, in my opinion, is confirmation that Hedera is being utilized for this. We do see the big, Four bank has already minted tokens. This is basically what I was telling you guys. The bank is exploring how, best to offer DeFi services to its 8.5 million customers. Like, this is that article that I just talked to you guys about, right? But check this out. I was not even aware of this. Like I said, shout out to Zepsi. Rob Allen, Sustainable Impact Innovation. Thanks, Anurag. And it was great to get the scoop on ANZ Bank's work on Hedera live on stage. And again, Director ANZ, greener, cheaper, faster. I would say that this confirms that they have chosen Hedera. I mean, that's just my point of view on this. Of course, call me, whatever you will. But I think that this kind of solidifies where Hedera is really positioning themselves in this market. I've addressed the idea that, through the HTS and even the HTS service, like, Hedera is not comparable to any other network in this area. I know that we always talk about price action. We talk about price action because, again, it's the biggest key to success from a lot of individuals. Like, people think that if an asset is not, astronomically increasing in value, that it's a failed project. That is not the case at all. Amazon, at some point in time, did a massive downward trend before it skyrocketed in value. But while it was in that downward trend, I want you guys to understand that Amazon was continuing to build out the company, and they were doing very well for themselves. And then all of a sudden, things just kind of unfolded in terms of value, and it was skyrocketing in value, and everyone wanted to buy. I do believe that this is going to happen to Hedera as well, because Hedera has been building out bridges to banks and institutional investors for so long. I've told you guys just yesterday that Hedera has the power to do an absolute massive move from like 24 cents to like $3 to $6 to even higher targets, if of course FOMO does allow it and value does allow it as well. But when we are talking about things, within this area to really kind of pay attention to, DeFi is such a massive area, especially when we are comparing it to banks and financial institutions that are going to unload massive amounts of capital, to, of course, these crypto networks to power their clients. I mean, 8.5 million clients, like, that's going to be something very exciting to watch for, especially when we are talking about, these DeFi services. I think that this is going to unlock massive doors, and I think that, through the power of Hedera and, of course, the Hashgraph protocol, if you will, I think that this is really going to, streamline the adoption of crypto technology, because Hedera is here, all right? I know problems that have been mentioned in the past. We talk about sustainability, overall, even scalability, transparency, security. Like, these are all things that Hedera has focused on for so long. And I really do believe that Hedera is going to be the main choice for a lot of these major clients. And these are not, clients that are your typical, oh, hey, Walmart's moving in or this is moving in. No, these are actual banks, okay? This is a bank that has massive client tender. This is a huge bank in Australia. And honestly, with what Hedera has been doing lately, Hedera has been absolutely killing it in Australia. It started with FPOS. Now we're moving in on like Miko Me and things like that. Like everything is happening so rapidly within the Australia space. Like, again, shout out to, Zepsi yet again. But we do see Miko is paving the way for sustainability economy on Hedera, creating an open source interface that builds on the Guardian to enable the management, visualization, and sharing of trusted information associated with tokens in the Hbar ecosystem. Again, when we are talking about tokenization, I think that this is huge for, of course, given that, overall, I would say identity behind a lot of these tokens that doesn't really kind of take away from decentralization or anything like that. I just think that this is very cool in terms of the idea on like you see like the post minting history, everything from like post to pre, everything like is associated with the history of a token, which is very cool to see. And I think that this is actually going to provide more value for not DLTs, NFTs. And I think that this is so cool. I mean, if you have minted an NFT, if you have bought an NFT or even sold one, you'd understand that this is actually a huge development, especially within tokens. I think that this is so cool. But again, like I said, things are rapidly being built on Hedera and rapidly changing day by day as we do see a lot of these use cases going live now. And when we are talking about things like this, I mean, it just kind of solidifies my position in Hedera. Like, I've invested into Hedera not only because of the technology, but because of the use cases that they were trying to build out on the platform initially. And now we're seeing a lot of these actually go live. And I think that this breadcrumb here from ANZ Australia should solidify your positioning in Hedera as well. It's not all about price action. It's about being in early before the price action actually happens. I've mentioned this even with Zilliqa, right? As you guys are probably all aware, Zilliqa has been doing absolutely massive moves. I know that this is kind of being a little bit laggy. I don't know why CoinMarketCap's like this, but 157% on a 7-day span, absolute massive volume flowing in. And the reason why I bring this up is because, like, not a lot of people were talking about Zilliqa. Nobody was really holding it. Everybody thought that it was a dead coin. It wasn't moving in price. It was just kind of sitting stable for the most part. And then all of a sudden, boom, it absolutely does a massive run because Metopolis is finally launching. Now we're seeing things moving rapidly within the Hedera space. Nobody's really talking about it. Everybody's kind of, bearish on it because of the price action. And then all of a sudden, we're continuing to see massive development. And what do you think happens next? So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.